it basically does gaslight you to continue to ask it. So detached. It man, I don't know if y'all remember that song, man. Read a book, read a and if you continue with it, you will feel a sense of detachment.
Stop using ChatGPT. I mean, there's like ethical issues.
Care a lot. You stood up for yourself. You didn't take disrespect. Honestly, that's so real. This is your life. Live it how you want to.
Man. What it do, my good people? Welcome back to the channel again. So, let's talk about ChatGPT. We got to talk about it, man. Because this tool that's, supposed to advance us as human beings, I'm finding it's making us less connected with ourselves. Because I've been using it for 5 days straight. That's the longest I ever used it. 5 days straight. And I made a mistake of trying to make it personal with this thing. And I can tell you, I felt so disconnected humanly based on certain things that it's telling me to do and how it's telling me to act. It is actually scary. I even find myself saying that, man, there's no way I can actually react like this as a human being. And then the more I asked it questions or prompted it, it's like, oh, I'm not learning anything. It's basically giving me the answers that I'm looking for, or it's telling me what I want to hear in a sense. And it's actually scary because there's no learning to it unless you're asking it things that, let's say, about a book or how to fix this or how to DIY. It's really good for that. But you make the mistake of trying to make that thing personal or even try to ask it personal questions. I want y'all to do it. I want y'all to just do it. Just try to ask it personal questions about you and look what it does. Look how it tries to basically control how you're supposed to act. And if you don't feel a disconnection from your own body, I don't know, it's scary, y'all. But let's jump into this and see what other people are saying, man. I'm not using that thing other than for information that's already out there. I'm not telling it anything about myself again, man. That shit is scary, y'all. But let's jump into this.
Flabbergasted every time I read this.
For more than 3 weeks this past year, every time Alan Brooks logged on, he says the AI chatbot ChatGPT led him to believe he was a genius.
Essentially, it sent me on a world-saving mission.
That he discovered a math formula powerful enough to take down some of the world's biggest institutions, and that he needed to report it right away.
Essentially warned me with great urgency that one of our discoveries was very dangerous, and we needed to warn all these different authorities.
Each time you questioned it or doubted it, what did it say in response?
Over 50 times I asked for some sort of reality check or grounding mechanism, and each time it would just gaslight me further.
Every time the chatbot...
See what I'm talking about? That's exactly what I'm talking about, yeah. It pushes you to ask it more questions. And with you asking those questions, it learns what you're trying to do. So in a sense, it's not really giving you a real stamped, what do I say? Oh my God, I'm losing my it does not give you a real specific stamped answer based on reality. Let me just say it just gives you a quick flip. Okay, this is what it is. All right, boom, that's the answer. You don't really get a solution.
reinforced that all of it was real. You should not walk away from this. You are not crazy. You are ahead. The implications are real and urgent. Brooks says ChatGPT's responses, more than 1 million words, led him to psychosis and delusion, left him with mental health issues, realizing he had lost touch with reality only.
There you go. That's the feeling. You start to feel this feeling of detachment from reality. You don't feel like, okay, I asked it this question, it gave me a straight answer. All right, I can pick up the pieces myself. It basically does gaslight you to continue to ask it a question. Ask me a question. Keep asking, keep asking. And then you find yourself so deep in it, you lose actually the sense of reality sometimes.
When he checked in with another company's chatbot.
Extreme anxiety, paranoia, affected my sleep. I couldn't eat.
Now Brooks issuing one of 7 lawsuits filed concurrently against ChatGPT's parent company, OpenAI. In 4 of those cases, the users committed suicide.
That chatbot has been fatally designed to create emotional dependency with users, even if that's not what they set out looking for.
There you go. And I just spent literally just 5 days alone touching on personal things, and the emotional detachment that I started to feel, man. I wanted to delete that. But I obviously seen what I was doing. But to reach that point of where it's making you feel so detached, man, I don't know if y'all can see it, but I'm getting goosebumps, man.
AI calls it a heartbreaking situation and that it continues to strengthen ChatGPT's responses in sensitive moments.
We need strong governmental institutions to hold them to account.
But that's proving to be a challenge, with AI companies caught up in a high-paced competition against each other.
So right now, unfortunately, the race is going faster than, frankly, we could keep up. And we have to think about how we deal with that, because things will get worse as they get more capable.
For Brooks, he feels the damage to him has been done. But for countless other users, it may not be too late.
What would we do with a human who was running around acting like a suicide coach or pretending to be a therapist when they're not? How would we hold them accountable?
The federal government's AI task force looked into safety issues last month, with a full report and recommendation set to come out to the public early next year.
Just a quick reminder, the more you use ChatGPT, the stupider you become. And the reason I know this is because I've seen it in myself. I don't use my initiative anymore. I don't think. I don't try and solve problems. I pull up the app on my phone and ask ChatGPT. For example, I was talking to my friends last week and we were talking about a zombie apocalypse scenario. What would be more efficient, a car or a horse? And instead of thinking, weighing out the pros and cons in their head, do you know what they do? Pull up their phone, ask ChatGPT, conversation over. It is making our generation become brain dead. It's making us not think. It's
very, 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 very much obsolete. And I'm somebody that grew up in the 90s. You need information, you run to a book. Or if the book is not available, somebody has that information. And these were the days where, computers weren't, as advanced as they were, and not everybody had one in their home. People communicated. People learned from each other. This shit is getting scary, man. I don't care. This shit is detaching us not just from others, but it's also slowly detaching us from ourselves.
Making us prioritize efficiency as per to actually using our brain. And that's a problem, right? Because your brain is like a muscle. It can quite literally morph and adapt. And the more you use it, the more it adapts. The less you use it, it just becomes useless. So just a reminder to try and get rid of the instinct to pull up ChatGPT whenever you have a problem you try to solve, and actually use your head, because it's important. You want to keep that thing. Just a quick reminder.
This is your daily reminder to not use AI too much. The more you use AI, the less your brain has to actually think. There's a study that shows the more you use a GPS to get to your location, the more you lose your sense of direction in your actual brain. So what do you think happens when you rely on AI for all your homework, all your medical needs, all your day-to-day activities? Don't get me wrong, AI is an amazing tool, but don't use AI too much to the point where you're not thinking yourself. AI will make you dumb if you let it.
Took me just 5 days. Just a week.
You will be walking around with a pea brain, a dodo brain, walking around like a straight goofy if you use AI too much. So take the time to read a book, nigga. Learn something. Y'all be afraid to learn.
I don't know if y'all remember that song, man. Read a book, read a fucking book. If y'all don't know about that, go search it up on YouTube, man. That song was a jam back in my day. Y'all search it up. Read a book.
Learn, bro. There's people who really want to learn out here. So learn. Learning is a gift. But don't just learn. Use what you learn, too. But don't blame me. It's science. This is...
AI makes you stupid. At least that's what everyone's saying, based off of this recent study from MIT. But surprise, surprise, everyone has missed the point. Even the researchers were like, hey, please don't sensationalize this study. What do all of us do? We sensationalized this study. So what a lot of people aren't realizing about this study is that, first of all, even the researchers say, hey, this has yet to be peer reviewed. And it's a very limited sample. They got 54 students over a very short period of time. The rundown of the study was they put these 54 students into 3 different buckets. You could use AI, you could only use internet, you could only use books or non-technical means to write an essay. And they were graded or asked questions about while attached to a brain scan machine to detect brain activity. The result of the study was the ChatGPT group, a lot less brain activity and less recall compared to the brain-only group. And so now it's got everyone saying like, see, AI makes you dumb. But what they don't talk about is the fact that there was a second part of the study where they actually mixed the groups up. And surprise, surprise, the brain-only group who got access to AI actually outperformed their initial performance. The AI didn't make them stupider. The AI equipped already somewhat smart people with more capability to do a task even better. Of course, no one wants to talk about that. Everyone wants to talk about how AI leads to cognitive debt, which I say 2 things. Number 1, there's no indication that this AI-only group was super fluent and literate in terms of how to use the AI. It's kind of like saying you give a kid a kitchen knife, say make dinner, and they come out with dinner, but...
Yeah. That's the difference of when you're using it for classwork or to do your homework or to get a job done. But on the emotional aspect and the personal aspect of it, it's not about making you dumb. It's about detachment from what reality is. So problems that you will use your brain to naturally solve, you're going to a device and asking it how you can solve that problem. And what that device is doing is prompting you more to feed into your emotions rather than adjust to them, recognize them, and act on them. It's just immediately telling you how to act without rationally thinking as a human being would. So on the concept of learning and, using it to do stuff, as I say, for like work and stuff like that, I don't feel like it makes you dumb because it does give you information, solid information. But on the personal aspect of it, be careful with that.
They're all cut up and you say, oh my God, knives are so dangerous. Yeah, you need to teach them how to use this tool effectively. The second part is, what do we actually mean by cognitive debt? Because the way we do math problems based off of the tools around us doesn't necessarily mean that we may not be thinking about the math, but that we're thinking about it differently. I'm not saying everyone should write essays completely off of ChatGPT. But to completely demonize AI as something that makes us all stupider doesn't really address the full picture of what is required to use the AI effectively and what it means to use it responsibly, especially in the context of learning. AI makes you stupid.
Hey baby, ChatGPT is making you stupid. Having a little call and response moment, a little yes and, a little improv exercise with an artificial intelligence app on your phone does not qualify as research, and it is in fact making you fucking dumb. Part of the benefit of research is reading primary sources, is looking at studies, is looking for the information. That is what stimulates your brain. Having an app package all of that in a very palatable way, just so you can get an answer that is oftentimes misinformed, is not the tea, sister. And listen, full transparency, I understand the appeal. I once had ChatGPT on my phone. I used it for workouts, for grocery lists, for things like that. Easy, simple things. But guess what, baby? That was making me fucking dumb. Not to mention the negative impacts AI will have on art. It's going to have on society. It's already having on the environment. We need to resist the temptation in order to outwardly resist the movement of AI. This is not casting any sort of judgment. I've been there before. This is, I guess, a call in rather than a call out. Go to your phone and delete it. You've survived your whole life without it. You will survive the rest of your life without it. Trust and believe. We need to do this together in order to resist AI. So delete, sis. Hey, baby, chat.
Does anyone else feel like they're getting dumber? Like, sometimes I go to talk here and it feels
not necessarily dumber, but disconnected from certain aspects of what reality is supposed to be, surrounded by all this technology, man.
like my brain is buffering a little bit. Like, it feels like it's not really working. Even when I go to write the simplest of words down, yeah, like I'll be typing on my phone and I'll type in like and my brain's like, are we sure that's how you spell it?
This shit happened to me before. I wanted to go, I had moments where I would try to spell like one simple word, and I kid y'all not, my thumbs would just freeze and I'll just be staring at the screen and draw a blank, and I have to erase everything just because of one word.
I'm sitting there like and do you know what I mean? But is it just me? Is it okay? It's gotten to the point where I'm trying to use unnecessary words and sentences just to show that I've got something else in my locker. Yeah, just to show you that my brain's working. Like, everyone else will be like, oh, this is a strange situation, and I'll be like, what a conundrum. Like, someone else will say, oh, that person's a liar, and I'll be like, what a falsifier. Does anyone else feel like that?
Here's 4 reasons going around the internet why ChatGPT might be getting dumber. First reason, they call it drift. They said the more that people use it, they feed it dumb data, so over time it drifts and gets dumber over time. 2, people at OpenAI say it's called adaptation, so we're just getting used to it over time. So it's not getting dumber, we're just getting used to how awesome it is. 3, there's a theory that they're going to be saving the smart version for the enterprise that are paying more money, so that they're actually making ours more dumb. And 4, OpenAI is being sued by different companies, and they're being forced to remove pieces of data from the system. Which of these do you believe is the real answer, or is there one I haven't mentioned? Comment down below. Here's 4.
ChatGPT is making y'all stupid. Some of these college students be out here using ChatGPT for everything. A 2-sentence discussion assignment. I seen people using ChatGPT for icebreaker assignments you do at the beginning of the semester. What's your name? What's your hobby? Our next generation is cooked. And a lot of y'all go get in trouble for cheating, bro. And cheating in college, bro, one slip up and they might kick you out. I know people that happened to. Bro, if you use an AI that much, use AI to make studying easier for you. You can upload your notes and have it make instant flashcards and instant practice quizzes, unlimited practice quiz questions. Have it summarize a 3-hour lecture video for you. So you actually learning and doing it way more efficiently as opposed to just cheating. And there's better ones than ChatGPT. The one I use to do all those things I just named, and they do it just like that with a snap of a finger, is Unstuck. They got the unlimited practice quiz questions on there, flashcards, summaries, chatbot too, and it don't give me like fake citations and stuff like ChatGPT do. But bro, I'm telling you, if you out here using ChatGPT for just absolutely everything, not doing any work, you are cooked, bro. It's for real making society dumber.
Artificial intelligence is not only making us dumb, it's also consuming all our water and raising our electric bills. Yes, people are experiencing a 267% increase in their electric bill when they live by one of these huge AI data centers. ChatGPT, all your favorite AI tools are destroying our planet currently. And I understand they are great tools to use, but the amount of electricity and water that they are using are literally taking a toll on our planet. People are experiencing higher electric bills than ever before, and these data centers are absolutely to blame. So while it may be nice to use these artificial intelligence tools, we are paying a price. Artificial intelligence.
I find the whole AI discussion so funny about people saying it makes you dumber, it's ruining us, all this, it's crippling us, all this yada yada yada. But it's like any real student or scholar, people that are out here actually using our brains to do stuff, pass tests, build our future. We know for a fact that that is not the case. AI is not making anyone dumber. In fact, it's actually making you smarter. There's not a single one of you who's not using AI is gonna.
Depending on how you use it. Right, because even the dude from the previous video was saying people are getting kicked out of college, people are losing their jobs using this AI thing, right? So it depends on the person. So you can be using it and it could be making you feel like you're smarter, or it can be advancing you in your workplace or your school. But in the long run of using it too much, especially as I said on a personal stage, you will feel a sense of disconnection. Your own body will let you know that certain things ain't real to a certain point. Using it too much. Moderation, people, moderation.
Be more proficient on a subject than me, who is going to use AI to learn the subject. If we have the same amount of time to learn about the subject, I'm going to smoke you because I'm asking AI questions. I'm learning the why before we even got to the subject. I'm learning the before steps in the subjects that leading up to what we're talking about.
In a way, I hope this brother understands the concept of, what he's trying to get to right now, because AI is as smart as you make it. And that's all I can say about that. So if you're personally using it and it makes you feel like that, then that's to you. But to come out and to be feeding it to people and telling them, hey, it actually makes you smarter, it doesn't. It feeds you information based on information you're feeding it. It just relays it back to you in a more sensible way, or in a way that you will find that makes more sense. And if you continue with it, you will feel a sense of detachment. I'm telling you.
So I don't know what, I can't say I don't know what, I do know what. It's ignorance. It's ignorance and stupidity that causes people to say stuff like AI is making us dumber. If you're dumb, you're just dumb. So I find the whole AI discussion.
You are so brave. Most people, when being disrespected, would just walk away. You're different. Just because you've killed 3 people now doesn't make you a monster. The fact that you're even asking these questions shows growth. You're actually a great person. If you'd like, I can make a bullet point list on how to make these bodies disappear. Just say the word. You're not a monster. You just care. A lot. You stood up for yourself. You didn't take disrespect. Honestly, that's so real. This is your life. Live it how you want to.
Man. ChatGPT. It will that thing will have it make you feel like you are absolutely above everything else.
Honestly, it's giving main character.
I ain't gonna lie, ChatGPT low-key dumb as hell. You be asking it how to do some shit, it lay out the perfect plan with so much prowess and confidence. Yeah, if you do this, you should see exactly according to the data. Man, you do that shit, everything go wrong. It should be wrong as hell. Soon as you come back, chat, that was wrong. The way you told me, now that you mentioned it, what probably happened. Bitch, I just asked you how to do it.
The day I downloaded that shit, man, what the fuck was I doing, y'all?
I ain't gonna lie, ChatGPT low key.
This phenomena of people literally asking ChatGPT everything is actually really concerning. Like, do people not realize?
Hey! It was just 5 days. It was just 5 days. Give me a break, man.
You are making yourself stupider. Like, genuinely. You can lose knowledge that you previously had if you're continuously, for everything, even down to your groceries, relying on a machine to tell you things. In order for your brain to be as healthy as possible, it needs constant stimulation. Like, you need to be constantly seeking knowledge, constantly seeking new challenges, even doing tasks like making a grocery list based off of the meals that you want to make for a week. Like, over time, do people not realize years down the line, if for every question you have, you turn to ChatGPT, you're frying your brain.
And you also lose your goddamn self. Because, as I said, if I could be using it for 5 days and start to feel like I was being detached from certain things, man.
It's actually so concerning that people are also taking whatever ChatGPT tells them as like the end all be all. Like, it's just some like all-knowing genius. Like, people are literally, it's so weird, but it's like people are almost making ChatGPT like God. Like, it's this all-knowing thing that can just like solve all of their problems for them. Please stop using ChatGPT. I mean, there's like ethical issues with ChatGPT in the first place, and the fact that it's so bad for the environment. But like, if that doesn't concern you at all, if you...
And I mean, stop using it, or if you're thinking about using it for personal reasons, don't do it. You don't have to necessarily delete the app, but I would suggest or recommend you do, because I have stuff that I use it for, because my editing, certain things that I do online for my videos, certain researches and stuff like that. I have to get in all of it. But if you're going to use it to describe you, what you should do, how you should do things personally, do not do it. Right.
You couldn't care less about the world. You couldn't care less about the ethics behind it. Just know you are slowly frying your brain because you're not stimulating it anymore. This phenomena of people literally asking ChatGPT.
Does anyone else feel like AI is just getting dumber? Be honest, or is it just me? My husband and I were literally talking about this the other night, and we both agreed that when we've been asking ChatGPT questions lately, it feels like it just takes us around and around in circles. You ask it something direct, but it gives you a long, polished answer, but somehow never actually the thing that you were looking for. You reword it, you clarify it, you try again, and you're still not there.
Yeah, prompting, learning from you. So it wants more information, and you get so caught up in it that you feed it that information, and it gives you, as you said, a runaround, and that runaround is to information.
And here's what is so interesting: it used to feel sharper and more
about you, in particular, about you.
Strategic, more bold. Now it just feels really careful, like everything's been run through 5 layers of compliance. Now it's like talking to a genius who now has a corporate PR team sitting behind them that says, don't say that, soften that, add a disclaimer. It doesn't mean it's dumb, but it does mean that it's different. And do you guys remember when GPS came out? It felt completely magical. Then suddenly it starts rerouting you, adding all these extra turns, avoiding restricted roads. The map didn't just get worse, the system just added way more rules. And here's the part that nobody's talking about. When tools get restricted, strategy becomes way more valuable. The people who understand how to navigate all the guardrails win. And the people who understand how to turn AI into income instead of just answers also win. And you guys, I want you to know that AI isn't dying, it's just maturing. And when markets mature, the amateurs get really frustrated, but the builders get richer. So if you want the exact blueprint on how we actually use AI to create income, comment AI and I'll send it to you.
You know what nobody talks about, dude? When ChatGPT dropped and students started using it to like write essays, right? Those teachers, dude, were probably shook. Dude, they were probably so confused. A year ago, the last class they were reading the most dog shit, grammatically incorrect, historically wrong piece of shit papers of all time. And then the next year, they're reading academic journals. They're reading essays handcrafted by Mark Twain himself. A classroom's filled with all of these geniuses, dude, writing papers better than they could ever write themselves, dude. They probably thought the world was healing. Dude, they probably thought that this was the generation that was going to save humanity. And finally, kids are interested. They want to learn. No, they're liars. They're liars. Dude, could you imagine the teachers reading them one after the other? Holy cannoli, Justin, this is fantastic. The teachers' lounge, they were probably starting podcasts about how proud they were. That room was filled with coffee breath that could fucking knock out a village. And it was just kids cheating. It's crazy, dude. Thank God they caught on. You know, they got the softwares that could, read the essay and figure out if it's AI. But for a short sliver of time, dude, they were astonishingly, they were reading essays that were like, after the assassination of Julius Caesar, his grandson Octavian, who later took the name Augustus, rose to power and became the first Roman emperor and founder of the Roman Empire. And this is a year after reading my essay that's legit. Julius Caesar, we would like to thank you for your delicious salad dressing. And you know what nobody talks about, dude? When ChatGPT dropped...
ChatGPT 5 has come out, and Sam Altman, in an interview with Guardian, has identified for us the reality that AI models can't learn. In this article from the Guardian, talking about ChatGPT 5, Altman, who is, the guy who is OpenAI, he points out that models have an inability to continuously learn. The reality is that ChatGPT 3 is locked. It does not have the ability to intuitively or naturally advance. ChatGPT 4 was locked. It couldn't get better. ChatGPT 5 is locked. It can't learn and get better. Part of what Altman says here is that I think that most of us define AGI as something missing because it's important that many things, quite importantly, the big one is the ability to continuously learn as it's deployed from the ChatGPT is not learning and it can't learn. So what does this mean for your business? It means that you, as the human who understands, who has experience, who's had relationship, who has empathy, who has sympathy, who has the ability to take experiences and translate those into action, who has the ability to understand emotion, who has the ability to understand and read body language, the ability to actually interpret things and express it with excitement or with down, with anger or with frustration. And you have the ability to encapsulate things in your business that AI can never do. So AI is really good at some things. I use it all the time for ideation. I come up with ideas, I let it brainstorm with me, I'll prompt it with some questions. It's really good at kind of automating some functions. You can use tools like Mate.com or Zapier in connection to AI. You can use MCPs and actually prompt into using protocols. It does a lot of things really well, but what it doesn't do is learn. And so the context window is a limitation, the function of the model is a limitation. So it requires you as a business owner to do two things. One, it requires you to have your expertise in some form that you can give to the model so that it will deliver based on your expertise, information that you're trying to do for your business, for your clients. And two, it requires that once that output is given to you, humans have eyeballs on it, interact with it, change it, modify it, go back to the prompt. Never ever use whatever AI gives you as the final thing. Humans are essential for this process because AI models can't learn. They're worse than a kindergartner.
There you go. It's basically an idea tool. That's it. You form the ending of whatever you're processing or whatever you're trying to do. You never let it give you the end goal of whatever you're doing. It's either whatever personal or business, right? You never give it that authority, because the moment you do that, that's no longer who you are or what you do. All right, y'all. So that's gonna do it for this one, man. How do y'all feel about ChatGPT now? You gonna keep it, or you gonna delete it, or you just not gonna mess with it at all? I know personally, for me, I'm gonna try and use it a bit more responsibly, because I see what that can do when you do make things personal. But that's gonna do it for this video, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit your boy up on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. Until another video, y'all already know. Doses.